Sakar. Yeah. We had done earlier Nirgun Nirakar in the 8th chapter using the pointers of the self. Then we also did Saguna Nirakar, which was on Omkar. Omkar as the sound symbol of the Supreme Lord. And this was Saguna Sakar. So in this 12th chapter, we saw that Arjuna is asking Shri Krishna the question that who is better, the worshipper of the form or the worshipper of the formless? And one important point to understand here is, in Vedanta when we say form, generally we associate form only with one form. But the word used here in this 12th chapter is eva, in this way. In this way means 11th chapter just concluded and Bhagavan showed the Vishwarupa. So the form also means the entire universe. For the devotee who is worshipping the form is not just one form. It may begin with one form, but the whole universe ultimately becomes the form of the Lord for the devotee to worship. So that's why when we say the worship of the form, people think it's only idol worship. It is not an idol worship. It is the worship of the Supreme Lord, beginning with one form, and we see the same Lord pervading everywhere in this whole universe. Then that worship of the form is the worship of the whole universe, service of the whole universe. So, evam sadata yuktahi, bhaktastvam pariyupasate. So those who worship the form and those who worship the formless, yechapyaksharam avyaktam. In that, tesham ke yoga vittama, who are the supreme? Now, Bhagavan did not answer that form worshipper is supreme or the formless worshipper is supreme. What did he say? If the mind is abiding in that whichever sadhana you are doing, Mai aveshya manahayema, whether in the form or in the formless, the mind must get absorbed. Mai aveshya manoyema. Nitya yukta upasate. There is, the mind looks forward to practicing that constantly. It revels in that. And shraddhaya parayopeta, with supreme faith, one engages in that worship. If these three qualities are there, it may apply to form for a few people, it may apply to formless for a few people, whichever it applies to. And it is not that one should use only one. It's not that if I am worshipper of form, I cannot do formless worship. And if I am worshipper of formless, then I cannot do worship of the form. It is not like that. It is just the mind. At that point in time, if my mind is not able to revel in the formless, I need the support of a form, I can take. If I feel that I can lift my mind to the level of the formless, I can do that. So, Bhagavan says this in the 12th chapter, after giving the three pointers, that in whichever one your mind abides, form or the formless, take up that. He goes on to explain certain facts that how it is difficult to do the worship of the formless. So what does he say? In the 4th verse he says this. What are the qualifications required to worship the formless? How do I know whether I am ready for the formless? See the verse number 4. Sanniyamyendriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. So he says here, Sanniyamya Indriya Grama. When all the senses are in control, Grama means a group. Sanniyamya Indriya Grama means all the 10 senses of ours must be in control. Sarvatra Samabuddhaya. One who is equanimous at all times in all places. Then Sarvabhuta ite rata. Those who are engaged in service of the people or of the beings. Sarvabhuta ite rata. And who have minimum body identification. Who don't have so much of attachment to the body and to the feeling that I am this body. Such people, he said, te prapnuvanti. They will attain. Now here, he also mentions the next one. We will see that also and then come to the deeper aspect. Kleshodhikatarastesham avyakta satta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkham dehavadbhiravapyate. So he says in this, the difficulty is a lot for those who are identified with the body. Klesha adhikatarastesham. If one is identified with the unmanifest, with the formless, but one is having a lot of body identification, avyaktahi gatir dukkham. What will that person reach? Only dukkha. Why? Dehavadbhiravapyate. Because the body identification is so strong that to think that I am worshipping the Supreme Formless, unmanifest, absolute, it won't be possible. To be able to identify with the formless, these 4 qualities are very important. Senses must be completely in control, meaning they are not going wild. Eyes are not hungry to see something, ears are not wanting to hear some music, taste is controlled. No, when one is sitting in contemplation, one is not pulled by the senses. It doesn't mean, sense control doesn't mean I don't enjoy my life, but there is absolutely no attachment to any of the sense objects. No cravings inside, which make the mind run out. So, Sanniyamya Indriya Grama. Sarvatra Samabuddhaya. Pairs of opposites don't affect that person. Heat, cold, pleasure, pain, success, failure, one just goes through equanimously. Why? Because one has understood that these are temporary, they come and they go. Not worth wasting my mental energy on these. By prarabdha they will come and they will go. And sarvabhuta ite rata. Do they become lazy, dull? No. When they are not in contemplation, they are engaged in service of the people around. And minimum body identification. They don't think themselves that they are this body. Such people, they are ready for formless. But if these qualities are not there, then Bhagavan says the person will land up in frustration. It is like simple example. For somebody who is not yet ready, goes and sits in some advanced mathematics class, will be absolutely confused, will not understand what is happening there. If I am not eligible for something and I am going to try that, which is much beyond my capabilities, it will only lead to frustration, because what I can do, that also I am not doing, and what I am trying to attempt, I am not ready for that. And hence, very wisely one has to choose. Now, what is the worship of the formless? See, both are upasanas. One has a grosser support, one has a subtler support. That's all. Both are supports. It is not that only the person who is using the idol is having a support, and those who are not having the form, they are not using the support. They are also using a support. It is just that the support is subtler. And what is that support? It is the pointers of the absolute truth. So formless upasana is Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasana. Listening to the absolute truth through the Mahavakyas, or through the pointers like Sat, Chit, Anand, Aja, Avyaya, Avinashi, all these, and trying to lift the mind to that state. So the concepts of the self are used as the pointers. There is no picture, there is no form, there is no visual. Our mind generally associates picture with any word. To think without picture is not possible. It requires a lot of subtlety and unconditioning. So if we say apple, what comes to your mind?
Form of the red apple.
Red apple comes to the mind. Green apple will not come. Apple computer will not come. iPhone. So many things. Apple God can create so many forms in the mind. Any word we say, love. Somebody I love will come to the mind. Red heart will come to the mind. Flowers will come to the mind. Any word which we say, however subtle it may be, success if we say, some achievement, some trophy, some medal, some recognition, something will come to the mind. So if we say God, infinity, self, whatever we associate will come to the mind, or the mind will find something to associate and bring it up. Because we have not been trained to think without picture. That itself requires a lot of deconditioning. What are our thoughts made up of? Name and form, nama and rupa. Without name and form, how to think? So either I use the name, which is the pointers, or I use the name and form, which is Saguna Rup as well as the mantra. If I say no, I will not use pointer, I will not use name, form also, it is not possible only to think. So both are supports. But here there is a support of a pointer where form is not there. Qualities are also not there though. That is Nirgun Upasana is that. No form, no qualities. So it is a method of negating. Whatever the pointer indicates is to negate what that state is not. When we negate everything, what finally remains is the absolute truth. The absolute truth cannot be defined. That truth is this. So the next verse, next few verses, he goes on to explain some of the pointers. So this contemplation is very important, that it is preceded by listening and reflection. I must be very clear that what is that nameless, formless, absolute truth? What is that Brahman? How is that Brahman my true nature? And when I am convinced of that, and I have enough vairagya, I have detachment, dispassion, sense control, all those qualities mentioned earlier here, then the mind will steadily think only about the pointer. So Nididhyasana is defined as that, Advitiya Vastuni Sajatiya Vritti Prava. Continuously the thoughts flow towards the non-dual self. For a lot of us, continuously the thoughts flowing towards the form and the name of the Lord itself is difficult. The mind wanders into so many other things. Just now you must have seen. Try to keep that image. Very difficult. You see, people make fun of this form. I just want to show you a simple video on how they use this technique. For a simple method, okay, and here we are talking about so many other beautiful things. This is called neurosculpting.
exercise for better mental concentration. This mental fitness personal training video will teach you one of the most powerful neurosculpting brain training techniques you can use to boost your power of concentration to levels that can make a major difference in your life. Do you want improved concentration? Do you want to start right now with one simple brain exercise? Get a few short minutes to learn something that might just change your life? If the answer to those questions is yes, listen carefully now, because I'm about to train you in one simple technique that can boost your brain power by controlling your attention. Hello, my name is T. Lavon Lawrence, mental fitness author and lead mental fitness trainer for Dynamic Mental Fitness Training. The technique I'm sharing with you is based off a very special training approach featured in neurosculpting, the most effective mental fitness exercise and brain training program on the planet. Neurosculpting is a specially designed system that actually reshapes the connective structure of your brain cells so that your brain is more powerful and efficient, similar to how training your muscles makes you stronger, gives you more endurance, and allows you to do more with your physical talent. To learn more about neurosculpting, go to www.neuro-sculpting.com. That's neuro-sculpting.com. And now, here's one of the most dynamic mental fitness and brain training exercises you can do to totally boost your mental concentration. The mental training technique is called basic mental object retention. For this exercise, there's a special rule I want you to keep in mind. The more you practice holding your attention onto a single object, the more powerful your mind becomes. Anyone who can hold a single image, thought, or idea in their mind for as long as they wish, in total defiance of distracting thoughts, emotions, or outside influences, has the dynamic mental power it takes to accomplish anything they put their mind to. Therefore, when training your mind using neurosculpting techniques, you can feel confident knowing that every minute you sacrifice in boosting your skill is moving you that much closer to your goals. So with that in mind, for this exercise, you're going to need a stopwatch or get hold of a timer that has an audible alarm to notify you when a session has expired. Also, have a piece of paper with a pen or pencil ready so that you can jot down notes about what you experienced during the exercise. Reserve a time and a place where you can focus without being disturbed by others. Take one slow, deep breath and center your attention on the task at hand. Concern yourself with nothing else, because this exercise, while you're doing it, is the most important thing in the world. That is the entire point of applicable concentration upon a task. Form a single image in your mind, perhaps a triangle, a circle, or a square. Just make sure the image is simple enough so that you can maintain a crisp, clear image of it without a great deal of struggle. Your task is to hold the image crisp and clear in your mind for as long as you can without it fading away, shifting color, or warping shape. When the image fades, shifts, or warps, and especially if you become distracted by a competing thought, stop the exercise, stop the timer, and write down how long you were able to hold the image integrity. Then, take another slow, deep breath to recenter your attention and begin again, but this time try to surpass your previous time. Like any neurosculpting technique, if you set aside just 15 to 20 minutes a day to practice this incredible method until you can perform it for 10 to 15 minutes straight without becoming distracted, you will achieve a level of attention control that's stronger than almost anybody you know. You can then take that new level of skill and apply it to any task or goal you're working toward for success. To really accelerate your progress, practice twice a day for 30 days. This free training was brought to you by Neurosculpting, the most effective mental fitness and brain exercise training program on the planet. We'll
See, simple technique, no? Neurosculpting, basic mental object retention. One image, square, circle, whatever. And to retain that one image, how much the mind takes, the time and effort. You can practice that for this whole week. Try this exercise. Put the stop clock on. Keep the image. The moment that image shifts, fades or warps, write down the timing. When we visualize the form of the Lord, before we visualize the form, what do we visualize? The circle of white light. Many people can't visualize the circle of white light. So put that effort to get that circle of white light and hold that circle in the mind. And then in that visualize the whole form. Now how many things are there in that form? And to keep that image in the mind and then to chant, how much more concentration and focus it requires. All that happens very spontaneously when there is devotion in the heart. When we love somebody, we will just think about them. Naturally we will think. That's the power of devotion, that's the power of the worship of the form. I just gave you a scientific method to understand this, that this is not something which we are practicing from such a long time without any logic. Today we know the logic behind it, this is how they are saying it, neurosculpting. But the great masters have said it in their language. This is in a neuroscientific language. So, contemplation requires that kind of a steadiness where I am able to withdraw from all the forms, focus only on the pointer, withdraw the attention from everything else. Hence it is very, very subtle. So when he explains this, see the verse number 3 is where he has given the pointers of the self. Yetvaksharamanirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyam cha utastamachalam dhruvam. So he says yetu aksharam. So now these are the pointers. Those who want to worship the formless can use these pointers. Think about the Supreme as Akshara, imperishable. The moment we say Akshara, somebody named Akshara should not come to our mind. Akshara means that truth which is imperishable. In me, what is that which is imperishable? Is the pure witness. Witness never goes. Waking, dream, deep sleep, they come and they go. The witness of waking, dream, deep sleep doesn't go. Aksharam, Etu Aksharam. So that Aksharam has no form, no qualities, no attributes, no substance, nothing. The moment the mind says Aksharam, the mind must go to that consciousness, who is the Sakshi. Aksharam. Then Anirdeshyam, it cannot be described because it is not an object. It can only be indicated. Yetvaksharam Anirdeshyam Avyaktam, it is unmanifest. Unmanifest because I am attached to the manifest, to the form. Like the curd, like the ghee. Now the ghee is unmanifest in the milk. But where is that ghee? Sarvatragam. It is all pervasive. In the milk the ghee is everywhere. Then how do I experience that? Do the process of sadhana. So, sarvatragam, that which is all pervasive, pure consciousness is within me, outside me, everywhere. Like the space, the pot is inside the space, outside the space is also pot, inside the pot also is space. Inside, outside the pot, everything is space. Pot is only a boundary, a condition. In the same way, consciousness is all pervasive. Now the mind must be able to tune up to that consciousness. Then that is called formless worship. And each of these pointers are actually negative. So when we say Aksharam, it is saying that which is not perishable. It is not defining. So if I remove everything that is perishable from my mind, what remains is that state of imperishable truth. Achintyam, which cannot be thought of. So if I empty all the thoughts in my mind, empty even transcend the thinker also, then what remains is that absolute reality. So each of these pointers are negating all that which is a concept or which is finite. It is not defining. So that is a subtle difference between the formless worship and the form worship. Formless worship will just keep negating everything. Then he says kutastham, which is unchanging. In a wheel, in the center, what is there? That is motionless, kutastham. All changes happen around it. What they call it, axle. That is changeless. The wheel rotates around that. So if I remove all that which is changing, what is that changeless which remains? That is the pure consciousness. Achalam, motionless, steady, firm, achalam. Dhruvam, eternal, beyond past, present and future, beyond time. So each of these pointers, and what is the experience of this formless worshipper? This absolute formless truth is my nature. That is the contemplation. Not that, okay, there is some truth which is imperishable, how do I care? That pure consciousness is my nature. This has to be contemplated. So now, Bhagavan says, whoever is the worshipper of whichever, eligible for whichever, must take up that form, take up that worship. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa worshipped the form. His guru, Totapuri Maharaj, he was a worshipper of formless. Ramakrishna in 3 days' time went from form to formless. What his guru took so many, his guru didn't imagine that he will be able to do in just 3 days' time. And the guru initiated him into that formless, saying that, you have visualized the form of Kali, now with the sword of discrimination, you cut that form, go beyond the form. Kali is not the form, Kali is Sachidananda. He went in 3 days' time because his mind was ready. And his guru could not believe him. You did it in 3 days. And a very strange thing happened. When the guru got affected with a disease, his mind was not able to revel in the formless. What Bhagavan says here, Dehavadbhiravapyate. The mind came down to the body level. And the guru asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, initiate me into the worship of the form. Saguna Upasana. So the worshipper, one who was from beginning worshipped the formless alone, finally came down to worship the form. Because he just couldn't stay in that absolute level when the body is going through so much of pain. Ramana Maharshi could live in that, absorbed in that state. No attachment to the body at all. So he tells the doctor to operate without anesthesia. The doctor was trembling, how this is possible? And he did it. He said, my mind has gone off the body long back. You do it. Like that, there are many examples of devotees who have worshipped the Supreme through the formless, who have worshipped the Supreme through the form. Both have reached the same truth. So both are upasanas. Both we have to transcend at some point or the other. So here there is a comparison now. In Saguna Sakar there is a form, there are qualities to hold on to. In Nirgun Nirakar there is no form, no qualities, only pointers. In Saguna Upasana there is faith, there is bhakti. In Nirguna Upasana there is vivek and vairagya. And in Nirguna Upasana there cannot be attachment to the body. In Saguna Upasana, devotees use the body, mind, intellect to worship him. In Nirguna Upasana, the devotee withdraws from the body, mind and intellect. Saguna Upasana engages the senses. So there is a beautiful form to see, there is lovely chanting, there are flowers to offer, there is agarbatti to engage the smell. And then there is chappan bhog also to engage the taste. Nirguna Upasana is exactly opposite. No seeing, no hearing, no tasting, no smelling, no touching, just withdraw from everything. Which is more lucrative. Saguna Sakar, engaging the senses. because our mind is used to that. Saguna devotee worship through remembrance, through worship, through chanting. In the 6th verse he says, Ananyena yogena mamdhyayanta upasate yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara. Nirgun Upasak, what does the Nirgun Upasak do? Only through steady contemplation and meditation. So actions, worship, all those, the Saguna Upasak will do. In Saguna Upasana, there is a relationship specific with Bhagavan. Hanumanji says, I am the servant, you are the master. Ramakrishna says, I am a child, you are the mother. Sudama says, I am a friend. Different relationships. In Nirguna Upasana, one sees Bhagavan as one's own self, the Atma. In Saguna Upasana, there is a dependence on the grace of the Lord. In Nirguna Upasana, one has to put the effort. So the example given here is like the Markata Nyaya and Marjara Nyaya. Markata is a monkey and Marjara is a cat. So the devotees are like a cat. So the kitten, what the kitten will do? Nothing kitten has to do. The cat will lift the kitten and carry it to the another place and put it. But when the monkey is jumping from one tree to another, the baby monkey has to hold on to the mother. Mother is not doing anything. Baby's effort it is to hold on. So Saguna Upasak is like the kitten. Bhagavan does everything for Saguna Upasak. You will see here he says that. Nirguna Upasak is like the monkey. We have to put the effort to lift ourselves. See here he says that. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat. 7th verse he says. Bhavavina chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. He says such devotees who are constantly thinking of me. Ananya bhakti, what I spoke earlier. Ananya neva yogena. Such Ananya Bhaktas of the Lord, he says, Aham Samudharta, I will lift them out of the ocean of samsara. Bhavamina Chirat Partha, instantly. Contrast to that, the formless worshipper has to put his efforts. It's like going to the peak, Mount Everest. Worshipper of the form is like the one helicopter comes, takes you, puts you on the peak. Oh, okay. But the worshipper of the formless poor guy has to walk all the way he has to reach on the top. You see, that's the difference. And the best part about the result is the worshipper of the formless gets the benefit of both. He worships the worshipper of form gets the result of both. He has Saguna Sakar Darshan of Bhagavan also and Nirgun Nirakar Anubhav also, both. Worshipper of Nirgun Nirakar gets only Nirgun Nirakar because he wants only that much. So which is better? Form is better or not? Effort is less, result is double. Business wise also this is more profitable. Less effort, double profit. Here, lot of effort, single profit. Which one will you choose? The Lord takes one across the samsara. Here, once we have to put effort. Vivek, Vairagya, Shatkasambati, Mumukshutvam, Guru Upasati, Shravan, Mana, Nididhyasan, Samadhi, Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. This much effort is there in Nirgun Nirakar. Saguna Sakar, nothing. Keep chanting Bhagavan's name. That's all with devotion. Did Shabari do anything like this? Nirgun Nirakar type? No. Completely clear. My Guru said Bhagavan will come. Keeps on taking name of Bhagavan. Ram, 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 Ram. Over. Bhagavan himself came. He has not, Shabari doesn't even know who is Bhagavan. Yet she has not seen a photograph that okay, Bhagavan looks like this. Said Ram will come, the son of Dashrath, he will come. And she had faith in the words of the teacher and she kept taking the name. In Tulsi Ramayana it is said, Shabari ke ashram pagdhara. The power of Shabari's devotion is such that Bhagwan's feet automatically turned towards Shabari's ashram after killing Kaban. So devotee has to take the name. Prahlad, what did he do? Just kept chanting Narayan, Narayan. Dhruv, what did he do? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. The power in the name of the Lord, the form and the name, that's all. Bhagavan takes them across. So Saguna Sakar starts with Shraddha, ends with Supreme Shraddha, with realization. This one starts with Jijnasa, ends with Advait. But the whole process one has to start by oneself. This is Bhakti Pradhan, that is Jnana Pradhan. Here there are more supports and less self-control. In Jnana Marg there is very less support and tremendous self-control. Hence one has to choose which one wants. So Bhagavan says this is how we uplift the devotee. How does he uplift the devotee? So Nirgun Nirguna Upasak will attain oneness with the Lord through meditation. Saguna Upasak, how does he uplift? By mere glance, by mere touch, by mere thought. This sometime back we spoke about. Chakshu Diksha, Sparsha Diksha, Vichar Diksha. Chakshu Diksha means just by look. For each of these, there is an example of an animal. You know how the hen sits on the eggs, no? To make the eggs warm. Then the eggs have to mature and the chicken will come. So the hen has to sit on it. So that's the example for chakshu, or for the touch. The fish keeps looking at the egg. Matsya Diksha. And the tortoise keeps thinking. The eggs are laid on the banks, on the shores. The tortoise goes back into the ocean. But it keeps on thinking. Through thought it warms up the eggs. So Bhagavan does that with a look, with a touch, with a thought. Devotee gets the knowledge. So to Arjun, Bhagavan gave the knowledge when he was there in front of him. To Uddhav, Bhagavan said, you go, withdraw. So Arjun he has to do the worship of the form. Uddhav, he says, you do the formless, go, you are ready for it. So whichever devotee, whatever is the adhikara, person will take that. Now here are some examples of when Bhagavan says that how he uplifts the devotees. Samudharna, he says, Desham aham samudharta. So Harana, Uddharana and Samudharana. So Rukmini, Bhagavan, Rukmini loved the Lord and Rukmini wanted to marry only the Lord. And her brother Rukmini wanted her to marry someone else. So it is said the first love letter ever written in the whole history is this. Rukmini wrote a secret love letter and sent it to Krishna Bhagavan, saying that I am in love with you and I will marry only you. And my brother has done this swayamvar, but I wish that you please come and take me. So Bhagavan says, so be it, I will be there. At an appointed time, in appointed place, he comes, elopes with Rukmini. Maybe that is the first marriage like that. That also becomes first love letter and first marriage. So that's called Harana. Then for Gajendra it is Uddharana. Gajendra, his feet was caught by the crocodile in that lake. And he took the lotus and he prayed to Lord Vishnu saying, please save me, this crocodile has caught me. Gajendra Moksha is beautiful prasang in Bhagavad. So that Gajendra is all of us, drowning in the ocean of samsara. The lotus of detachment, we pray to Bhagavan, devotion and detachment. Please come and save. Bhagavan comes. It is Sudarshan Chakra, he cuts off the crocodile. Sudarshan means higher vision. So with the higher vision, he destroys all our attachments, liberates us. And then Arjun is Samudharana, where he has given the knowledge to Arjun, shows him the cosmic form, gives him the blessings, and uplifts him from ocean of samsara. These are some examples, like that many examples of devotees where Bhagavan says that I uplift the devotee. The devotee doesn't have to do anything, just sincerely remember the Lord. Now comes what are the methods.
Is it true also that he tried to give the knowledge to Duryodhana and he refused it? I read it somewhere.
To give knowledge to Duryodhana in the sense that he showed the form to Duryodhana in the...
And he wanted to give him the knowledge of Gita, that's what I read somewhere.
Knowledge of Gita, that I am not sure. I have to check. But compassion of Bhagavan is there that he gave this darshan to Duryodhana, that he is Bhagavan himself. The essence of the knowledge of Gita is that. But Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra could not understand that. So, so now what are the methods? 4 steps he gives here in the order of subtlety. And these 4 steps are 4 levels in devotion. The highest is verse number 8. See 8, 9, 10 and 11. These are 4 steps. Actually there is a mistake, it's not 12, it's 11. Mayye vamana adhatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasishyasi mayeva Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. It says those who are subtlest, who are the supreme devotees, who have so much of bhakti, who have so much of sattva guna in their mind, Bhagavan tells them, Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya. Surrender your mind and intellect to me alone. What will happen then? Nivasishyasi mayyeva ata urdhvam na samshaya. You will just become one with me, there is no doubt in that. So the highest level is the level of complete surrender. Complete surrender requires a lot of sattva guna, acceptance, devotion. Surrender your mind and intellect to me means what? Our mind is always in a doubt. Sankalpa vikalpatam kammana. To make that mind decisive, we need to give it a goal. So, first meaning here is Bhagavan becomes the goal of my life. That whatever I do it only to experience that goal. Like a person who wants to win a medal in the Olympics, or let us say right now Commonwealth Games going on. So in the Commonwealth you want to experience, get a medal. Then the whole life will be tuned up for that. Eating, drinking, talking, walking, exercise, everything tuned to that. So when Bhagavan becomes the goal of my life, that I want nothing else but Bhagavan. Second meaning is, intellect has the goal that Bhagavan is the supreme, Bhagavan is the goal of my life. Second meaning is the mind has anchored in devotion to the Lord. The mind is no more begging for love from people. The mind is secure that I love the Lord loves me. That is enough for emotional security. Why do we need approval of people? Will we eat chocolate directly or will we eat chocolate with a wrapper? We will eat directly, no? Why will we eat it without the wrapper? With the wrapper, it's terrible. Why don't we experience the love directly from the Lord who is in our heart? Why do we want it indirectly through people? People love us only because the Lord is in their heart. And the Lord only is loving us through the people. We don't realize that. We think that the person is loving me. When devotee is there, he sees Bhagavan only is loving me through all of them. So one who emotionally is secured in the love of the Lord, that person. So the mind and intellect is like that. So one aspect is let the mind have the goal as Bhagavan. Second aspect is let the mind have emotional security. You know, a very nice example given there is we are where our mind and intellect is. Right now, if your mind and intellect is here, then you are here. If your mind and intellect is in some 3 o'clock blackmail show, mind is there. So the example given here is this woman was sitting in temple for meditation and suddenly she got up with the smell of burnt food. But when she actually saw around, there was no burnt food, it was only incense of the candle and the agarbatti and all that which is going on there. Then she realized, oh God, my mind went away to the kitchen and the food is burnt there and the mind is, the sense is experiencing the smell here. Has it happened to you? Many times it happens. One gentleman was meditating and his friend came. So the daughter-in-law said, you please sit. So the friend asked, where is your father-in-law? He said, he has gone to Bata showroom, he will come. And after some time the father-in-law came out from the puja room. So the father-in-law came out from the puja room and so the friend is saying, that, you were in Bata showroom. He said, who told you? He said, your daughter-in-law. He said, I was in the puja room. But when the daughter-in-law came, the person asked, why did you tell him I was in the Bata showroom? He said, but where were you? Your mind was in the Bata showroom only. You were sitting here in the puja room. But you were there. The daughter-in-law, she understood that. So where our mind and intellect is, there we are. If our mind and intellect is surrendered to Bhagavan, every minute of my life, that is the supreme. Second is what we said, the goal. Keep the Lord as the goal and drop all the unconducive desires, which are not conducive to the goal. In Vaishnava Sampradaya, these are two characteristics of a bhakta. Anukulasya sankalpaha, pratikulasya varjanam. Whatever will help me to attain the Supreme Lord, I will seek that. And whatever makes me go away from the Lord, I will drop that. Pratikulasya varjanam. So let the mind and intellect consider the Lord as the goal and drop every other thing which is unconducive to reach that goal. Third aspect is what we spoke about, the emotional security. That let the mind and intellect derive maximum security from the fact that Bhagavan loves us as we are. Nobody can love us as we are except the Lord. Everybody has some change they want in us. You are very good, but this much you have to change. This you have to improve. That you have to become better. Nothing wrong in anybody telling us to improve or become better, but acceptance level, 100%, as we are, is only from the Lord. And it is Bhagavan's love which is there with us throughout life after life after life. People come and go. So love what we know and know what we love. Meaning, when we know about the Lord, more and more love will come. And the more we know about the Lord, more we love the Lord, more we want to know about the Lord. That way the mind and intellect must go together. There are some people who only know about the Lord, but love is not in the heart. Some intellectual information they have. God is energy. Okay, love the energy now. Surrender won't happen. So God is energy, so what? God is power, so what? Love is not going to come, surrender is not going to come. I can't experience that godness, that godliness in me. If that is invoking surrender and love, nothing wrong with it. Please carry on with that. But most of the time it's just an abstract concept which I just know. It doesn't invoke an emotion in me. And there are some people who will only know emotion. Who is that Krishna in his true nature? That I don't know. The verse which we chanted, Satchidananda Rupaya, it starts with that. Bhagavatam starts, the Mahatma Bhagavatam starts with that. People think that Bhagavatam is for duality, Dvaita Bhakti, and people who are doing Katha and all that. Those who go to listen, these people are all Kathakar, these people all are devotees. They just go on, pata nahi kya karte rehte hain, Bhagwan ki leela. Keep taking the stories of the Lord, they keep crying. What is all this emotionalism drama going on? But they don't understand that is invoking complete surrender, and ultimate truth is Krishna and I are one. Bhagavad leads to that. Advaita is the realization of Bhagavad is Advaita only. To make the devotee experience the oneness with the Lord. So, when I love the Lord, the desire to know will be there, and then I know. So knowledge must invoke love, and love must make me know more. Then that is called mind and intellect absorbed in the Lord. And definitely our mind is not in our control. Like Krishna Bhagavan was made the charioteer by Arjun, and the reins of his chariot were given in the hands of Sri Krishna. In the symbolism of the Gita chariot, the charioteer is the buddhi, the reins are the mind, and the senses are the horses. Surrender the mind and intellect to me means give the chariot of my life to the Lord. How nice it is. Saguna Sadhar Bhakti is the most enjoyable. We have to do nothing. Arjun has to happily sit in the chariot. Who is driving it? Bhagavan is driving it full time. Who is controlling the horses? Bhagavan is controlling the horses. Who is ensuring that the chariot is the destination? Bhagavan ensures the chariot is the destination. And we want to go away from this path. We say, which God, what God. But the fact is, whether I know it or not, whether I accept it or not, the chariot of my life is anyway being driven by Bhagavan only. A devotee accepts it, so devotees become nischint, surrenders. Somebody doesn't accept it, thinks I am driving it, okay. Carry the burden of worship, what else can be done? But when one realizes, so this is the first level, where the devotee completely surrenders, that my mind, my intellect is all surrendered to you. Suppose they say, no, this sattva guna is too much, I can't handle this much. I am little more rajo guna is there in me. So then Bhagavan says, then, the next verse. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tataha Mamichhaptum dhananjaya. He says, if you cannot abide your mind in me, complete surrender is not possible for you, then what you should do? Abhyasa yogena tataha mamichhaptum dhananjaya. Do abhyasa yoga. Even in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan said, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. With abhyas and vairagya, the mind will be controlled. So if I cannot stay in the surrender bhav, and the mind becomes extroverted, start doing the japa. This is applicable in meditation also, this is applicable through the day also. If the mind cannot maintain the bhav of surrender, acceptance, start doing japa. If the mind is disturbed, agitated, attached, start doing japa. Name of the Lord. It's a very powerful means. So the skill, any skill is acquired by knowledge and by practice. So what is the mantra? What is the meaning of that mantra? What is the power of that mantra? I should know, and then I should start practicing. One Ishta mantra and maximum one more Gayatri mantra. That's it. 2. Keep practicing. So he says, if you cannot live in the state of surrender, chant the name of the Lord. What will it do? It will bring me back to the state of surrender. And if you say no, no, Swamiji, to sit quietly, to take the name, or even to take the name while doing the work or while transacting in the world, my mind is, I am very dynamic, action-oriented person. I can't just keep taking name of Bhagavan. He says, okay, then for you also I have a method. So he says, Abhyasepya samarthosi Mad karma paramo bhava Madarthamapi karmani Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. He says, if you are not capable of even sitting down and chanting the name, so much restlessness is there that I have to do something. Then he says, Mat karma paramo bhava. Consider me as the supreme and dedicate all your actions to me. If you are taking care of the family, remember that Bhagavan put you there, so dedicate all the actions to the Lord, saying, I am doing your job. Like a company representative goes to another country, what will that person do? He thinks that I am a representative of the company, and everything that he does there is as a representative of the company. So I am here as a representative of the Lord. This is the new place I have come to the world. These are my responsibilities I have to execute. Over. So dedicate all actions to the Lord, and remember we are only instruments, Bhagavan is the Karta. So that Karma Yoga can be practiced here. Ishwar Arpan Buddhi. If you say, Swamiji, this also is not possible. See, the beauty of Sanatana Dharma is nobody is a gone case. He said, if you cannot practice even this much, okay, I have another solution for you. Meaning, any method I have, you cannot escape your evolution. So he said, if you cannot even practice dedicated karma, chalo, that also doesn't matter. I'll give you on a simpler method. See the 12th, 11th one. Athai tadapya shaktosi kartum madhyogam ashritaha sarva karma phalatyagam tatat guru yatatmavan. This is, you are very dynamic, Rajasic person, you have to do a lot of action. But suppose you can't do action dedicated to me. Action you are doing, but the bhav of dedication is not coming. Then he says, chalo, then sarva karma phalatyagam tatat yatatmavan. O person who are striving, O devotee, you are striving, but you are not ready for dedicating action, then sarva karma phalatyagam. Then what you should do? Renounce the enjoyership. Accept results as they come. Prasada buddhi. Don't insist that result has to be like this only. Drop insistence, drop resistance, accept whatever karma phala comes, prasada buddhi. I accept. You may say, but I don't believe in God. Okay, accept it with the fact, with the clarity that this is your own past karma's phala. If you believe in God, then Bhagavan is the karma phala data, say that Bhagavan knows what is the best, I accept. If you don't believe in Bhagavan, then accept that my own past karma, cause and effect, it is coming back to me. Whichever way, he says sarva karma phala tyagam. Sarva karma phala. He says all karmas. Don't say that I will drop insistence of bad karma phalas. All karma phalas, good and bad, whatever they come except came from Bhagavan. So the focus is not on karma phala, focus is on gratitude to the Lord. In Bhagavan's grace, I got this karma phala. I thank the Lord. So drop the enjoyership of that karma phala. Because enjoyership of that karma phala makes me want that again, or makes me resist that. So it will create a new asana, which again makes me restless, again makes me do karma. So these are 4 levels. And in karma phala tyaga, I can do one more thing is, I can share the karma phala with people. And give the credit to Bhagavan only. That is Bhagavan's grace, this karma phala has come, share it. 4 levels. Subtlest is surrender the mind and intellect. If I can't do that, take the name of the Lord. If I can't do that, dedicate actions to the Lord. If I can't dedicate actions also, accept the results as they come. So these are four beautiful levels, and I'll conclude here with the story of this Satyajit. Satyajit had a money called Syamantak money. And that Syamantak money produces 10 kilos of gold every day. So Bhagavan said to Satyajit, you give that money to the state treasury. Now people will benefit. Satyajit said, no, I will not give. You are very attached to the money. And what happened? That money got stolen. When that money got stolen, Satyajit doubted Krishna Bhagavan. Now Bhagavan has to clear his name. So he went, found that money, gave it back to Satyajit. Now the Satyajit felt very sad. He said, oh God, I doubted Krishna unnecessarily. He never stole that. So he said, Bhagavan, you please take this money back. But Bhagavan knows that he is attached to the money. So he said, no, you keep the money with you. The 10 kilo of gold that he is giving you every day, that you give it to the state treasury. That is the example in Bhagavatam. If I am attached to the karma and I am not able to dedicate that, the result that is coming, the money is the symbol of karma. Gold is the symbol of the result. This is result you share it with all. So now this is where the 12th chapter, the 4 steps are here. And next week we will cover the qualities of a devotee whom God loves. 36 qualities. Yeah. Beautiful qualities that we will take up. So this completes lesson number 19, and a part of lesson number 20 we have started today. So those of you who are giving the test, you can give. Om Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Namo.